Should the director of a film be in charge of making the audience feel a certain way? Or should they allow the audience to feel whatever comes to them?
I just have a lot of feelings.
An auteur is a filmmaker whose personal influence and artistic control over a movie are so great that the filmmaker is regarded as the author of the movie. What does this mean? Directors like Quentin Tarantino seem to promote violence within their films.
Heaven and stop it. Oh, what's happening? Oh, man.
Wes Anderson creates movies that have constant comical dialogue.
Experience.
Hotel Kinski, kitchen boy, 6 months. Hotel Berlitz, mop and broom boy, 3 months. Before that, I was a skillet scrubber.
Experience 0.
In the movie Brazil, Terry Gilliam used his own style throughout the film to give a certain feeling that engages the audience even more.
It's fixed.
Fix.
The film itself is far from mainstream. It follows Gilliam's own style of artistic vision. Released in 1985, Brazil seemed to be based on George Orwell's novel 1984, in which the government has complete control over its citizens. His film forces the audience to use their imaginations to figure out what in the story is real and what is fantasy. This is accomplished by showing the protagonist constantly dreaming or daydreaming, and in the end he has gone mad and envisions his own personal ending.
He's got away from us, Jack.
Afraid you're right, Mr. Heltman. He's gone.
His set pieces and visual effects come off with an almost cartoony feel, which also adds to the tone of the movie. Even the costumes seem to transport the audience to a time and place unknown. Sam's mother, for example, wears a shoe on her head in place of a hat. Recently, some movies placed in the future have used this idea of crazy fashion. Hunger Games costumes were noted for being spectacularly different. The concept of terrorism constantly reappears throughout Brazil.
Tell you about it straight away.
Really, Sam? Won't you do something about these terrorists?
It's my lunch hour.
The film also happened to be released during a period of many major acts of terrorism around the world, such as the hijacking of TWA Flight 847.
The 3 hijackers threatened to kill some of the 145 passengers aboard, most of whom were Americans, if the plane was not refueled.
And the Italian cruise liner Achille Lauro. In Brazil, the government is always worried about terrorists and arrests anyone who looks suspicious. And this keeps them from finding the real terrorists.
I hereby inform you under powers entrusted to me under Section 47, Paragraph 7 of Council Order Number 438476 that Mr. Buttle Archibald, residing at 412 North Tower, Shangri-La Towers, has been invited to assist the Ministry of Information with certain inquiries, and that he is liable to certain financial obligations as specified in Council Order RB/CZ/907/X.
This is an entertaining recurrence. It also makes the audience wonder whether there was a connection between the movie and events happening in the real world. In 2013, when Terry Gilliam released The Zero Theorem, people saw a resemblance to Brazil. Gilliam said, "People think I am a prophet and that Brazil described the world we're living in now a few years ago. But we were living in that world then. People just weren't paying attention the way they do now." In the film Brazil, the use of and the significance of the ducts is the complicated, messy, intertwined, and entangled government.
Central services. We do the work, you do the pleasure.
Hi there. I want to talk to you about ducts. Do your ducts seem old-fashioned, out of date? Central Services' new duct designs are now available in hundreds of different colors to suit your individual taste.
Even in a futuristic society, the homes and buildings still have ducts surrounding every room, and everyone has them, the rich and the poor. The ducts become symbolic throughout the film, and only in the end, when Sam has gone deep into his madness, do the ducts not appear in the jail cell he's in. In the scene where Jill goes to report a wrongful arrest, an irritating robot keeps getting in Jill's face. This is the only thing that is described in the script, and there is no mention of architecture, clothes, or the street scene itself. There is a long line of people waiting to speak with the information porter, possibly all for the same reason, to report a wrongful arrest. This tells the audience that the government often arrests innocent people for crimes they did not commit. This type of mise en scène in the film adds to the frightening dystopian atmosphere. Brazil is unique in its setting, costumes, and dialogue.
This is an emergency.
It creates for its audience not just an enjoyable entertainment, but also a thought-provoking, memorable cinematic experience.